Hey Olivia, hope you're having a good day off. It's probably a good day to take off because there was only one stock on the scanner that was low float, which was WORX. It was a almost 9 million float that had done almost 15 million in volume during the pre-market, and had gotten it up about almost 100%, I think. But I feel like with most of these videos, I tell you that the horizontal lines are daily levels. So I would say you can always assume those horizontal lines are from previous daily levels unless I say something different. And then I just draw these ascending lines for the windows. I like to look at the longer the line, the more accurate the line typically. But I still do draw the short line sometimes just to help with context. But this strategy I've been doing, it's really just on the first green day, and it's the pre-market pullback. So I feel like this chart right here is exactly what Ross's class teaches for how to take advantage of the momentum. But once that momentum fails, that's the move I'm trying to catch. So like if you see this, it's like a bull flag, but once it fails, it provides some good opportunity. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. I just wanted to zoom out to see so you could see where I put those lines from, so we can see the volume a little better. So I've usually been getting entries as the pullback nears the VWAP, but I found that it usually bounces. So if I get a starter and then it bounces, then I add. But that kind of usually puts me in the red faster. So in the anticipation that it moves towards the VWAP, and as I watched the volume, I want to try to get an earlier start on it to give me a little bit more room. So I got a starter as it was breaking the low of this candle. I added probably a little too soon, but I was trying to add for the follow through of this candle. I was kind of keeping an eye on this 50 level, and it hadn't gotten too high from there. My stop was going to be up here by the about 262. We were getting some good volume coming down. This volume, high green volume on this candle, I didn't necessarily like, but since it was a bounce off the VWAP and it was a hammer candle, I wasn't as concerned because I'm sure longs were getting an entry at the VWAP. So as it was bouncing off the VWAP here, I was hoping and thought it would have broken better through here, so I was kind of liking the trade a little less. But at this daily support level and also playing off the VWAP, I thought maybe it would take a little bit more time. So this was still pretty early. I didn't necessarily like seeing this green volume curl, but like I said, since it was early and my stop was high, I wasn't too concerned yet. So then I drew this line after I didn't know that line was there until that. And also throughout all this, I wasn't necessarily liking that on the level 2, the bid was always seeming to carry a little heavier, but I wasn't sure. It seemed to slowly come up and then drop pretty fast on lower volume. So that was making me a little more uneasy on the trade, but I mean, still, it was well within play, so I mean, I wasn't too concerned yet. I was really watching this 250 level. It broke on this candle just barely. I liked seeing that it pulled back right away. I think here we're getting close to, oh no, that's not there yet. So we do get one break of VWAP before the market opens. I had really thought about taking out on this dip here, but it wasn't quite to my target. My target was closer to 225. And since it was still so early and I felt like I had a pretty good entry on it, I just thought I'd hang out. And the fact that there was some good red volume made me a little more confident that there could be a better push later in the day. I was really tempted on that second push, especially because it was by this ascending support, but this was the shorter line and my target was more based off the longer one. I was hoping that this would stay below the VWAP, but I was still going to give it some room to fail. I was really struggling around this 250 area, and I was watching this pretty close on the level 2. I had considered maybe going ahead and stopping out here, but or as it was around this 50, if it got over 50, I would stop. But I feel like when you use those areas of breakout, sometimes they need a little bit of space to go over. So I still was just holding. Didn't like that one had finally did break. Oh no, it didn't. But it was just getting close to 250. And so at market open, I know I don't usually like to hold at market open, but because it was at that 250 and my stop really wasn't till 260s, I was thinking I'd give it a little bit of room in here depending on what the green volume would potentially look like if it were to start pushing. But right at market open at 249, finally I saw some good sellers coming in, and they were stacked pretty hard at 250, 249. The range on these couple minutes was really pretty incredible. But I didn't want to get too caught up in the motion right on open. I like seeing the red volume. And then finally, as this big push here, I went ahead and took half out at my target price. And it did catch some good support there. It bounced. It wasn't a whole lot of volume. The emotion of the good trade here, I thought maybe I'd add and then hope that it would break through again. But, you know, this whole strategy is just based on a pullback of a stronger stock, and it'll retest the VWAP again. And I was like, you know, that was probably too soon to try to get in. So on the next candle, it dropped a little bit, and I went ahead and got completely out. So it was probably a good decision because I recognized that entry was more emotional based than technical. So I was fully out now, and good thing I did because it started getting up above VWAP. There's probably more entries in here, but you know, I hit my target for the day. Now that I'm back in a live account, I really just want to focus on some consistency and less trades. So I don't want to get into too much experimenting or get back in the trap of over trading. But here's what it's done. And it's only about 10 o'clock now, but I think I'm going to call it a day. But yeah, so the recap on the week: Monday was red, about 15%, got it back on Tuesday, had 15% on Wednesday, and then about 10% today. So finally a good green week that has a good basis. All right, I'll talk to you later.